Hi, I'm Layla, and this is Finyal Media. So this is me and my two co-founders. Majid on the right is half Emirati and half German. Mashari on the left is half Saudi and half Kuwaiti. And there I am in the middle. I'm half British and half Palestinian. So you could say we all have a little bit of an identity crisis going on. But the thing is, we all desperately want to reconnect with our Arab roots. And yet the media that is supposed to represent us actually feels very disconnected from us. And 2 years ago, we realized something. We're not the only ones. There are young Arabs across the region who feel completely disillusioned with the mainstream Arabic media, to the extent that they barely consume TV and radio anymore. We have such a rich history in our region, but our stories are at risk of being lost because we're not keeping up with the times. And when you ask young Arabs what kind of content it is that they'd like to consume, the vast majority of them say they'd like to see more entertainment that's based on their own history and culture. And yet, in a region of 400 million people, we have barely 400 podcasts in our own language to speak of. So we set about changing that. We are a podcast network that provides immersive audio stories that are relevant and authentic for young Arab listeners. So we started by taking the classic stories like 1001 Nights or Joha and Sindbad and adapting them for a more contemporary audience. And these did really well. So then we moved to more original modern day drama series like The Basement and The Code. And these also performed really, really well. And today we have around 15 different shows in our network. And every time we finish a new season with around 94% episode completion rates, our listeners ask when the next episodes are coming out. We distribute our content across all major audio platforms who are desperately competing for localized original content. And we're just scratching the surface in terms of what can be done. So we believe that by 2025, there'll be around 60 million monthly podcast listeners in the MENA region, which will equate to around $500 million in market revenues. And we've already started tapping into this. So we currently monetize our content through a combination of advertising and sponsorship on our shows. We also custom create branded podcast series on behalf of companies that want to own their own podcasts. And most recently, we launched a subscription service where we offer early ad-free access to all of our content in collaboration with Apple. And the model seems to be working. So to date, we've had over 7.5 million downloads. In 2020 alone, we grew at an average monthly rate of 25%. Not only that, but we've also established successful partnerships with some of the biggest brands here in the UAE, starting with Unilever, Emirates NBD, Carrefour, and many more. And now is the time for us to start scaling up. So this means not only through production and churning out more of our ever popular hit series, but also by aggregating independent content from creators across the region. Monetization is also starting to be automated through things like programmatic advertising and our new subscription service. And all this with just a handful of people. We're 5 people that share a passion for bringing our region's stories to life. And if you share that passion, please join us on this journey.